for some of the enemy's most sophisticated schemes.
Amen. Amen.
We live in a time where leadership all over the place is being questioned and taken down by the one we call the adversary, the evil one. And we all fall victim to somebody at some point that actually has the ability, for whatever reason, whatever way they're able to do it, to deceive us. The art of deception is truly one of the oldest cons in all of the world. In fact, it was the serpent that used deception to ensnare Eve, which led to the disobedience of Adam. And all of the Bible and all of the life hinges on two things: deception and disobedience. Deception is one of the most sinister and heart-wrenching tools used by and on behalf of the one we call the adversary and his bands of imps within the kingdom of God. We will concentrate on the devil, the adversary, but we forget they are lairs.
All right. Amen.
Into which he will do anything he can to ensnare you.
Preach.
We like to come to church and talk about God, but most preachers don't take time to talk about the devil.
All right.
Yeah, put you in heaven every single day.
Hey.
But we forget there's also a hell that's waiting on you too. I got 3 amens. Deception is the base of a lot of brothers being placed in jail and a lot of church leaders, going straight to hell.
Hey! Preach!
Deception is the cause of many marriages being destroyed and homes being broken.
All right.
How can the enemy enter into a man's house unless he first binds him?
Amen.
And it's not by mistake that the enemy comes to get the blood first.
Hey!
Not to say that the man is actually stronger than the woman, but we both have our distinct roles and rules in which we are to follow.
Amen.
Deception is the root of many political investigations going on even today.
Glory.
Deception won one person the White House and prevented another person from making history in this place we call the United States.
Hey!
In fact, deception by way of deliberate misrepresentation can cause a panic in the hearts of evil-spirited, undereducated, politically ignorant, and racially motivated men and women who will vote against Senator Clinton just because she represents a certain tradition and vote for a man with no moral, no scruples, and no integrity.
All right. Well.
There's a lot of symbolism, and watch me now, stay with me please. A lot of symbolism in the recent movie War of the Apes. You didn't see that one coming, I know. But see, I know how people speak in the cinema that which they feel, and only those who are aware of how the devil works actually pick up the lingo.
All right.
I don't want to bust anybody's bubble who may go out and see the movie. But there's one point in the scene that you really need to know, in which Caesar, the mighty ape, right, is talking to the villain, and the villain says, now wait a minute, yeah, white folk fight against white folk, but they fear more the apes than they do the white folk. Now, I will never in a million years compare the evolution and the reality of the brilliance of black people to apes, but there's a symbolism there on what they fear. Yes, now, for my Caucasian brothers and sisters that may be here, this sermon is not against you. It's not about black and white. It's about wrong and right. What is wrong, and what is right. And there are a lot of people that speak in codes. And if you don't understand the language, the codes, then you will fall for the trick of the enemy. Now listen, Pfizer resigned because of who President Trump brought into the White House. You need to understand who that person is and what it represents. You need to understand the educational reality of having somebody over education that knows nothing about education, but she knows how to make money. So now our children have to go to a school. I'm going to preach to myself. You ain't got to like anything else. This is my second time here. This is my last time here. I got to preach the way God gave it to me. That may be more qualified preachers, but that ain't who you got today. You got Deception is a practical tool. Stay with me. Stay with me. It's going to get rough, but stay with me.
Amen.
Used by both women and men and boys and girls.
All right.
Mothers, stay with me.
Amen.
Stay with me. Mothers will use deception to have her way with the husband. Fathers will use deception to have his way so he can spend time away from the wife. Children will use deception to pit the father against the mother, all for the purpose of having their way. Little boys will use deception in their efforts to kiss the girl. Little girls will use deception to get rid of the little boys. Ladies, brothers, brothers will lie to get you, but ladies will lie to keep you. Everybody is guilty of utilizing some form of deception. Can I press my claim a little bit more? Deception has become a convenient tool within the sacred walls of even the church.
All right. Go ahead. Preach.
The title is Stand, so I might as well go stand.
Stand.
Oh yes!
Hey.
Deception can be found. Go get my sword. He was ready. My man. Y'all take me out the spirit. Leave me alone. Deception can be found on the deacon board.
Hey. Go ahead.
Can be found on the trustee board. Can be found on the Christian board.
Go ahead.
And especially
In the pulpit.
on the motherboard. Y'all look at me like I said something crazy. The mothers know how to do it. They bake the pies and the cakes. Oh yeah, look at this. Some of y'all out there feeling convicted now. Oh yeah, y'all sit back and plan who's gonna be the preacher next year. Y'all decide how nice you're gonna be to the pastor and how mean you're gonna be to the pastor. The motherboard can be deceptive.
That's right.
After all,
That's right.
it's the Christian who serve the longest in the church who believe they entitled
All right.
to the most privileges.
All right. Preach.
You ain't got to like it, you ain't got to agree with it, but it is what it is.
All right.
The enemy is clever as a fox and slick as 10W30 motor oil.
Yes,
Deception comes in multiple forms. It lends itself in the form of dishonesty,
sir. All right.
trickery,
All right.
fraud,
Yes.
cheating, pretext, and deceit. Will a man rob God? Will a woman rob God? Yeah, rob God. Now some people, stay with me, believe using deception is how the world actually operates. Let me get them before they get me. It is what it is. After all, stay with me. Most women learn the art from their mothers, just as most men learn the skill from their fathers. Within the church, most church leaders learn the skill from the previous leaders and their mentors.
Say so.
Can't tell them everything. Can't be too honest. They don't know how to act. Oh, y'all quiet. I'm still going to preach my little sermon. I'm going to preach this little sermon. I'm going to preach this little sermon. Within the black community, it has been used to survive within a socio-economic system that is based on lies. This capitalist society can only work if there's a permanent underclass serving the bottom. The needy can't get the money unless the greedy can't get the money unless the needy spend the things to try to make us feel good about what's not right in our lives. So they set the stage. You know you don't know where your next dollar coming from. And instead of going to the grocery store and buying a whole chicken and cutting that thing up to make 4 meals, you have to Kentucky Fried Chicken and be fed once. That's a mindset. Oh, yeah. Preach your sermon, Sims. I'm doing the best I can. Go ahead, Reverend. Deception. It's constantly being used. That's right. As a tool. In the polling booth, the courthouse, educational system, and the penal system. The Black Lives Matter movement was started by some courageous ladies because they were ready to take a stance. The Montgomery boycott movement was initiated because some black folk were ready to take a stance. Gandhi, nonviolent movement started because one man decided to take a stance. Martin Luther King Jr. finally concluded that it's time for the have-nots to dress the haves. Now on this Men's Day, what are you all ready to do? This ain't the preacher you want to call if you don't want to get no charge. Are you ready to stand against this thing called Make America Great Again, which does not include you? Are you willing to stand? 16 black girls kidnapped in D.C. Has it broken your heart? Have you found out what's going on? Are you going to stand? Are you going to stand? When they continue to shoot out black men who's driving their cars. Are you ready to endure the pain like Martin Luther King Jr.? Are you ready to rebel like Muhammad Ali and take a stance? Yes. Are you ready to speak up and speak out like Fannie Lou Hamer? Amen. Are you ready? Amen. And are you willing to stand and confront an enemy that is far more wiser than you, far more stronger than you, and far more qualified to fight this fight in the spiritual realm? Amen. Amen. Will you stand like Nehemiah the cupbearer and say, I am compelled to help build a wall? Will you stand like the lame man, but there's a pool? Jesus said, get up, take up your bed and walk. Will you stand in the power and might of the Lord? Yes. Like the woman with the issue of blood. Yes, come on. Jesus said to her, it's not my power that's healing you alone. It's the faith that you have in my power. As men of the Most High God, we have to believe in the power and might of the Lord, just like David, who stood up to Goliath and asked the Lord to deliver this uncircumcised Philistine into my hand, watch this, on your behalf. And that's what we mess up. We trying to fight a fight that we're not qualified to fight, and then we want the victory and the glory belongs to the Lord. We have to believe in the power and the might of the Lord, just like the demoniac man in Mark 5 who referred to himself as Legion. The Bible records Jesus sat down, talked with him. That's a hint for us. The man was in his right mind. Stay with me. And the community who was opposed to Jesus and opposed to the man feared not Jesus but the man. Stay with me. Stay with me. It's when we as men come into our right understanding of who we are in Christ. That's when the community will no longer feel they can take advantage of you. It's one thing to go out of your way to be a witness, but when are we going to stand and also be warriors? Glory! like, man, church looked upon as being soft. Ain't nothing soft about this man here. For I know that God will be with me if I fight.
That's right.
Let me transition. If you're going to stand as a man, then the text is tailored to teach us three things. First thing is, you must properly identify the source of your power.
Amen. Amen.
So right there in the text, I preach the Bible.
That's right.
6:10. It says, finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Don't be jacked up like Samson and think your power is in your hair or anything else on outside of you.
Hey.
Your power is not in your money.
Amen.
Your power is not in your good looks. I know you're
Amen.
smooth. I understand. I know you're smooth. But your power is not in your muscles. Your power is not in your intellect. Your power is in your willing to submit to the power of Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
There's absolutely no reason to fear you, bro. He has no reason whatsoever to think twice about attacking you in whatever form he decides to do so. He has no reason to worry about your response to his message with your money and your honey. He's not concerned with you mounting a strategic retaliation upon him until touch yourself on the right shoulder and say, until. It's not until you stand vicariously within the power of God that the booger starts to pay attention to what you say as a mere man and what you do as a trustful believer. The devil knows that when you start a communication process with God, the healing process starts as well. He may not fear you as a mere man, but he will fear the one you're praying to. It's not until you fully believe that there's actual power of life and death in your own tongue. I can't do. If you say you can't do, then you won't do. You got to believe in that which you say. You got to believe that you are made in his image. As men, we must believe what Jesus declared. He that abideth in me, I will abide in him. You must believe where he says there's no place that you can go and I'm not there. If you make your bed in hell, I'm there with you. If you stand in front of kings, I'm with you. If you stand in the prison guard, I'm with you. If you stand in front of the president of these United States, I'll be there with you. His word declares he will never leave us nor forsake us. It's all about you walking and standing in the power of God. As men of God, we must believe. We must believe that God has our back. We have to believe in the power and might of the Lord, just as the woman this your blood did, but also like Nehemiah the cupbearer, we must believe that God is there for us. The Bible records, going back, that Jesus sat down with this demoniac man. And although every sermon only has one relevant question, I have to ask you, why do you think the people feared the brother when he was in his right mind? When we stand as men in our right mind, we know not only who we are, but we know who they're not. When you know, as a man, that you're made in the image of God, and you have power, then people can't put the okie dokie on you. I I'm not trying to brag or boast. If I say her name, you know who I'm referring to. And because of cameras, telephones, you better not say anything you ain't willing to, not just back up, hire a lawyer. Young lady that attended Howard University was not a divinity school student like I was, but lived in the same dorm. Now works, if you know who she is, I don't want to hear it. Now works for Donald Trump. 45. Only 45 I know does like this. Y'all catch that later. She says, since you always been my friend, I can get you a position in the Trump organization. Now I looked at my bank account. I was kind of tempted. Yeah, I was tempted. But then I thought about what he's doing to all of America, black and white. I thought about how he is now a catalyst for division as opposed to an instrument to bring healing. What Obama did, say what you want, think how you feel. He crossed the lines. He made an attempt to bring us together. And now, it's by no mistake that this administration is trying to destroy everything this man has done. And so I had to ask myself, how much of a lie would I be living as a servant of God to take a position with him? Yeah, it may give me a certain form of power and a certain form of recognition and even a little bit of money to be a part of that group. But I just believe one day there will be somebody that we got to stand in front of and give account for everything that we say and everything that we do. Before I trust the might and power of the White House, I will put my hands, my trust in the power of God. Brethren, you have to know the source of your power. But then there's a second thing you have to know. Second thing is you must properly identify the source of your protection. It's right here in the text. It's right here in the text. Look at 11 and 12, if you will. It says, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Listen, you can't protect yourself. You don't have the equipment to protect yourself. As men, once we stand in the power of God, next thing we have to do is put on the proper gear. It's going to get rough right here. Too many of our grown men are dressing like our young boys. If I see another 40-year-old Negro draws, I'm going to have a fit. You wear what you want to wear to church, but please, on Sunday, don't wear no gym shoes up here, man. That's just my opinion. If I'm wrong, forgive me. Oftentimes, the clothes that are on our backs are a reflection of what's in our heads. There's no need to buy a jacket without any insulation and bring yourself to Chicago in the wintertime. That ain't gonna be no good. You're really wasting your time trying to look good in a fur coat. And you down here in South Beach in Miami. You got to have on the proper gear. And bruh, we can go look at all the movies we want to look at. You cannot put on a Captain America suit thinking you're going to fight the devil. Even Superman fell down to kryptonite. I know some of you Bible readers are saying, in the book of James, it says resist the devil and he will flee. Yeah, but it doesn't say for how long. Jesus tells us you get rid of that booger once, he comes back with some of his cousins. Oh yeah, once you conquer the demonic spirit of low self-esteem, it comes back with two of his cousins called mistrust and anger. Once you defeat those three forms of deception, they come back with three other folk, jealousy, envy, and hatred. Hence, the reason why the demoniac man in Mark 5 referred to himself as the legion is because every time something happened, something else would happen, and it compounded the problem. You still mad at your grandmama for what she said? Your grandmama dead and gone to heaven or hell? Why are you still concerned about what she has said? You got abandonment issues that return into rejection issues. Now you can't trust the very woman that God sends to you. I'm sorry. You can't trust another brother because of what a brother did to you when you were 9 years old. I'm not going to say get over it. I'm going to say get healed. Many times, the devil that you have to defeat and need protection from is the one that's living inside of you. The devil didn't call Uber to come up in here. No, he ain't take no taxi cab. He didn't fly on a plane from any other. No, he walked in with you. He walked in with me. He walked in with us. Because we all got some of it inside of us. Ooh, I got 5 amens. I was able to count them. How many of us, as people, particularly men, have self-sabotaged our own blessings? How many of us have served as the catalyst to our own firing on a good job? Have given God has given you all you need to stand like a man and fight the enemy of the world with the whole armor of God. The devil may not fear a carnal man. The devil may not fear a natural man. But the devil won from a praying man. Paul shows us in the text that there are other tools that the Lord will give us to use when dealing with our internal devils and external devils. Paul encouraged us to put on the whole armor of God in order to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now, many of us don't put on the proper gear. Go ahead. Because we don't know when the enemy is all about us. Go ahead. You don't know how the devil used your mama. Go ahead. Your grandmama, that's right. Your daddy, that's right. Your teacher. That's right. Malcolm, you can't be a lawyer because you're black. Right. We don't put on the proper gear because we don't know we're in war. Hey. You cannot be willing to fight the devil in just your carnal self. You need to not only walk in the shadow of God's power, but you need to put on the equipment that he has given you. That's right. Now see, many of us, we don't put it on. Why put on a raincoat and you don't know it's raining outside? Why put on a hat and you don't know it's cold outside? But see, some of us, we don't put the armor on because we don't know the wow of death. We looking for some person in a red suit with horns and a tail. Well, that may not be the tail that gets you in trouble. Oh, I ain't scared of nobody. I'm running out of here. No. That's a preacher's friend. Call and response. Too early. The word wiles in Greek, let me help somebody, please. Let me try to help. Is, Pastor, I said incorrectly. Don't correct me till later, okay? The Greek is methodia. Now, if that's incorrect, I ain't gonna say it again, so we're gonna go with that. Methodia. But it's where we get the word method from. Now let me bring you in. Let me slow you down. Let me bring you in. The word method. The following. Listen to what it means, men. orderly and technical procedure in the handling of a subject. The devil takes time to craft a plan to come after you.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Once you show a little chink in the armor, that's where he begins to slither his way.
That's right. That's right.
You battling with somebody who said something about you 25 years ago. They forgot they said it. They trying to be your friend. And you still hang. And once he sees that you're angry over something somebody said, somebody can come up to you and give you a compliment, but you begin to attack their words because the wiles of the enemy has you captured in your mind. Then we don't understand as men that the enemies are all around. And my brother's keeper, some will say no, some will say yes. But then they're on our jobs. You got the raise and the promotion because you qualified, but then they demote you because the big boss son just came out of school. In fact, he even passed his classes, but he still gets the position because they understand that you ain't got no other place to go because we're so loyal to a fault. But then we think when we go home, all should be well. But the Bible declares, don't get mad at me, take it up with Jesus, I'm just a paper boy delivering the message. The Bible declares that a man's greatest foe will come from his own household. Sales remix, version of the text. You don't know where, don't know why, don't know when, don't know what, don't know how. The enemy is going to use or try to use to attempt to bring you down, take you out, and or mess you up. But you do know that God has given us the proper armor to stand vicariously on behalf of ourselves and others against all of our seen, unseen, known, and unknown enemies. Yeah. As men of God, it is our job to stand in the gap by being the front line of protection. Here it is. For your families, your community, your schools, and your churches. We must stand for the weak, the infirm, the undereducated, the miseducated, and the misled. Paul says, brother, if a man be overtaken of fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in spirit and meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. I got to move on. We must teach our people that many things may be impossible for the unbeliever, but for the believers, all things are possible for him, her, them that believe in the power of Christ. Okay, I kept it too long, and plus I'm tired, so I gotta get rid of it. You gotta believe. You gotta get a proper understanding of where your power comes from. You gotta hide in the shadow. Then you have to also understand that you gotta have proper understanding of your protection. Thank you. But then, and I pray this point is really from the Lord because it blessed me, and I pray it bless you. I hope it helped you because I ain't got no hoop. Yeah, I'm mad at God ain't give me no hoop. I'm so mad at him. That's another story. Yeah, he do not give me a hoop. He gave me a hoop, served me over already. Third, Pastor, forgive me. The third thing is you must properly identify the source of your perseverance. When you stood and said, what happened to you at 5? What happened to you at 9? And we all understand how it is to live in Virginia. Amen. You had wit. You had grit. But it was Christ that kept you. Amen. Put your hands together for the Christ that kept you. 93 years old. I pray I look good like you. I pray I'm in shape like you. I pray God preserve you like he has preserved you. Sermon preached ain't nothing compared to a sermon lived. God bless you for your testimony. Now, I beat up on you kind of early. Y'all can say, yeah, you did. It's all right. There have been times when our forefathers and foremothers had to deceive the slave master to protect their children and their grandchildren. There have been times when mama had to lie to daddy to keep him safe from himself. There have been times when daddy had to stretch the truth just a little bit to make sure the family was protected from the adversarial forces that were seeking to destroy us as a people. There are times when we have to do what we have to do in order to do what we need to do. There have been times when the church has had to take a hard stance on matters of morality and integrity that cause a break within the church's convictions and within the church. Throughout history, we have had to place our personal convictions aside to do what was needed for the betterment of our corporate worship and our corporate interest as a collective body. Jesus raised the question, what is it worth for a man to gain the whole world and turn around and lose his soul? And then he came with another question for the slow people like me. What is your soul worth? As men, we can't allow our personal feelings about a given situation supersede God's commandments. Joshua had to destroy Achan and his entire family to preserve the blessings on the people of Israel. We don't like talking about a God of war, but that's what we're in. David had to allow his son Absalom to be killed due to his insurrection in order to preserve the call of God on his life and as a king of Israel. Jesus allowed a young rich ruler to secure his seat in eternal damnation because the young rich ruler refused to give up his Corvette, his Mercedes, and his Lexus in order to follow Jesus. I told the men yesterday, nowhere in that text do you see what Jesus didn't say he would replace it. He just wanted to see the young man's priority. Paul had to allow Barnabas to go his own way because they couldn't agree on a few theological issues. In all of our lives, as people, and men in particular, as believers, we will have to take a courageous stance and draw the line in our spiritual sand on some of the most unpopular but yet pertinent issues in our lives. Deception is used to keep us from fighting by having us believe that we cannot win. Well, that's just how it is. Been like that, gonna always be like that. Well, if that's what you believe, then get out the fight. If that's what you believe, stop talking about how much you love Christ. If you don't believe you can make a difference, then respectfully and in love, just shut your mouth. Don't criticize what everybody else is trying to do. Key word is trying. Okay. I got to leave y'all. I'm so tired of ridiculous. Deception. It's to convince people that there's no need to fight because we can't win anyway. But the Bible declares that the Lord will help us fight our battles.
He told the people of Israel to fight. Jesus told his disciples, you don't like this part of Jesus either. Y'all like the pie in the sky Jesus. Y'all don't like the Wolverine Jesus I like. He said, sell your oxen and your ass to buy some swords. He wasn't talking about no Bible. You got to fight. You don't want to fight. You didn't come to church to hear you had to fight. You want something that's going to lift you out of the misery that you're in. I'm lifting you out of misery by letting you know you got power. Power to fight. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X told us we got to stand as men. Martin declared, you ain't going to like this. Martin declared, if a man is ready to die for something he believes in, he ain't fit to live. Malcolm declared the price of freedom is death. Y'all don't like this. Jesus said, if a man loses his life for me, he has actually found his life. If you're not willing to be subject to some pain, some misery, and some criticism,
I didn't sign up for this.
You ain't fit to lead. David declares, God maketh wars. Psalm 46:10. Maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in fire. Then he says, so you know when you're out there, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted on the earth. In other words, God expects his men to engage in battle in both the physical and the supernatural. The psalmist asks, who is man that you have made him just a little lower than angels? There's more power in you than what you know. There's more power in you than what you believe, but you got to activate the power.
Glory.
He has equipped you with his own DNA for battle. He has made you the head and not the tail. He has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind.
Glory.
Jesus said, in this world, you should have tribulations. That's full, more than one. But be of a good cheer. I have overcome the world. I leave you with this. There's no devil you can face that God's power can't defeat.
Glory.
There's no grief you can encounter that God's grace can't cover. There's no hurt you can experience that God's might can't heal. There's no sin you can commit that God's blood can't restore. There's no pain you can feel that God's love cannot heal. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believed in him shall have God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. That's why we believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. He lived, he died, he rose with all power, and now he has ascended into heaven. He's looking down upon us. He is the one who's steering our ship of life. You just got to believe. You got to believe. Now, Calvary, I gave you what I had. I pray something was said that made you feel better on your way out than what you felt coming in. God is still real. God is still real. Come on, stand to your feet and give God praise. Stand to your feet and give God praise. The doors of the church are open. The doors of the church are open. God only expects you to give your best. Is there one here today? You've been operating your own power. You have lived under the beliefs of somebody else's teaching of you. And now you're ready to learn who you are and whose you are. If that's you today, give Give the Lord your heart and give the deacons here your hand. Is there one today who's ready to give their life to Christ? Satan is real. Satan is real. But he may be the prince of this earth, but he's already been defeated. You've got to believe that the blood of Jesus has covered everything. Jesus is real. How do I know? How do I know? It's all in faith. I have no picture to show you. It's all what you believe.
Sir.
Is there one? Is there one